Well, let's talk about Uber earnings. So the earnings call just went out earlier this morning, their conference call. You listened to it. You had some takeaway. You texted me saying drivers are fucked, all capital letters. So we're definitely going to be talking about that and why.
Oh, okay. Now that you started that way. Now that you started that way, Chris. Well, I don't think we need to talk about it. Chris said it. Drivers are effed. There you go. It's like, okay. All I know is this guy is a master at communication. Okay. He introduced a new CFO who came over from ADI and Analog Devices. And Nelson Chai is out as the old CFO for 5 years. So the quarter was good. They missed, they like, I mean, these numbers are so convoluted. If anybody understands it, please let me know. But I did read all through it. Look, Uber does this with their earnings very well. Okay. They have like 25 columns. Okay. They just shift numbers around and make things look good. Okay. So the reason it says miss analyst expectations is because they moved the column of some money from the column of, because they have investments all over the world, okay, which are underwater, but they mark those to market up and down, up and down. So when they need good numbers, they'll just move it into that column. When they need to take a little bit of a loss, make it like they did not do as well, they move it into that column. So nobody understands the earnings. I do understand it, but for me to explain it to you guys, it's not necessary. Now, however, listening to the numbers are the numbers. These are impressive numbers, Chris. I don't care how much hate there is for Uber on this planet, okay? All right. Remember the 2.3 billion trips, Chris?
Yep.
You want the 2.44 billion trips, Chris.
Wow. That's a lot. That's 100 million more rides in the quarter.
Yes, in additional rides on top of the 2.3, right? So more shaving possibilities now. So now we have to up our shaving level to 250 million a quarter. We were at 230 million a quarter. Now we're at 250 million a quarter. But all joking aside, they're doing over 1 million trips per hour, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, every single hour. That's the average. That's ridiculous. And I always wonder how the shit works as well as it does. At 1 million trips per hour, people. Think about this. Think about the scale. The other thing that blew me away was they had 134 million MAUs or monthly active users. They changed the acronym for that now to MAPC to confuse me more. Until I figured that out, I spent 10 minutes. What the heck is MAPC? They went to 142 million, Chris, from 134 million last quarter. So people are using Uber right, left, sideways. Uber Eats, Uber Connect, Uber this, Uber that, Uber boat, Uber shit, Uber, right? 142 million MAPCs, which is monthly active paying customers. I don't know why they changed it, but they changed it. I don't know why. The numbers are good. Companies hitting on all cylinders. However, while Chris said the drivers are effed, here's the other numbers, okay? Okay. Last quarter, there were 5 million active drivers. In one single quarter, which is 3 months, people, in business. Today, active driver count is at 6.5 million drivers. Let me reiterate that to you guys. 6.5 million active drivers. From 5 million to 6.5 million. 1.5 million newbies showed up to drive. And Uber couldn't be more happy about it. Now, you all wonder why you get a ping an hour? Is exactly because of that. If this does not, hit the headline of our show today, which is our Uber and Lyft markets oversaturated, well, there's your answer. They went from 5 to 6.5. Dara was gloating and saying that the reason for people to come to the platform is because of upfront fares, because of the total transparency that it provides the driver. Drivers don't have to think much. That's why they grew the driver base supply. Did you just say bullshit?
Yeah. Here,
so
I mean,
Yeah,
he could sell
he
a catch a
said
popsicle to a woman in white gloves.
yeah,
Let's be
he
real.
said the 6.5 million active drivers. Okay, listen to this, people. Uber contributed to the pockets of these drivers and conversely into the general economy $15.9 billion with a B. Okay, that includes tips and incentives, obviously. $16 billion almost went into the pockets of drivers. Okay, you cannot argue with that. That's a lot of shit ton of money. Okay.
Yep.
Lastly,
But that pie split 5 million
yes,
ways. You're getting that little sliver. Now
that
you're
question was
splitting that
asked.
pie to 6.5 million slivers now.
That question was asked by an analyst. They said it seems like now your supply, when they say supply, by the way, at the conference call, by the way, this all of you can go listen to this. It's on the Uber's website. Initially, you have to sign on, but now it's open to public. You guys can go listen. This is a 45-minute conference call. They said that the 6.5 million obviously is an all-time high. So markets are going to be oversaturated, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And 16 billion is a lot of money going to the drivers. This is just Uber. Figure out DoorDash, Grubhub, Instacart. The gig economy is huge. Okay. And the amount of trips they did blew me away. Now, the important part was this. They said supply may be outstripping demand for the first time in the company's history, Chris. Okay. Supply being the driver count, outstripping demand, meaning demand is still growing. I mean, look, it went from 2.3 billion trips to 2.44 billion trips. Okay. So the demand is strong, it's still there. And in all markets, they are at pre-pandemic or better levels. Okay. I mean, it was like a glowing quarter. There was nothing wrong with as far as the company is concerned. However, lastly, on the downside, he says the cost of acquisition of drivers is very low, the lowest it's ever been, meaning all the bonuses they put out to onboard new drivers. And the other thing that he was talking about is that the cost of running the existing driver base is very low now, just because there are so many drivers, they don't have to put out incentives. They call that cost of running the
Yep.
business. And they said in the US, that's down 50% from last year. Last year's same quarter, same third quarter. So incentives are down 50% on average in 1 year. And going forward, they see the same thing continuing. They see the same, more people joining the platform. They said, we're going to continue recruiting. We're going to continue onboarding because we want our ETAs to go down and we want surge to disappear. Well, surge is going to disappear if you have that many more drivers in every city, right? So now when drivers say, I'm only getting a ping an hour, now you guys know why that's happening. And yeah, it was an amazing quarter as far as Uber is concerned. Last, they are heavily using AI and machine learning. They are, he says, in one part, actually, the onboarding of drivers have been aided by the heavy usage of AI because AI is better than a human when you upload a document. It does it faster, it reads it faster, it approves it faster. As far as onboarding, that's helping. Obviously, we talked about chat. They're going to AI for sure. But he also said the algorithm, the upfront algorithm, is constantly learning. And I did not understand this, but he said he even made fun of, he said, why would anybody price a trip on time and distance? And I'm like, I'm not sure, because that's what it should be in transportation. But long story short, it was a great quarter for Uber, and drivers are effed because there is 1.5 million more of us out there than it was last quarter. So, there you go.
Yep. And on top of that, let's be real on the reasons why there's so many more drivers. First, somebody said in the comments, there's a lot of people coming into the country that can now work, which we're going to be talking about actually in our next segment. That's one of them. And then the other side of the coin is how bad everything is going out there. So the economy is not in a good place, and people are having to work more in order to bring home less to try to pay the bills. So what are you going to do? You're going to resort to other avenues of trying to make money, whether that's Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, some sort of gig, whether that may be an OnlyFans, but who knows? There's a lot of different things going on when it comes down to all this. So yeah, people are trying to make money, and unfortunately, it's going to screw a lot of us
Right.
because If you got to split the pie 6.5 million ways instead of 5 million ways, that's a giant chunk right there. I mean, what's the percentage difference between 1.5 million more drivers from 5 million?
30%,
30%, almost 30.
5 to
Yeah,
6.5
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
5
you
to
got
6.5 is
30% more drivers on the platform in 1 quarter, which is 3 months. And now you know why things are looking 30% worse.
Yeah.
So
and to piss everybody off here more than what I already said, I'm just a messenger, so don't shoot me. Don't send me hate mail, please. I'm just a messenger. He said, okay, see, okay, there's 6.5 million drivers now. Okay, actually, you know what? I just thought about this. Okay, he said nationwide earnings are at their highest level per driver. You guys can go listen. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot me. He said nationwide average driver earnings, including incentives and tips, stands at $33 per active hour. And he said in New York City, it's $50 per active hour. Again, per active hour. Let's do this. I want to create a folder, which I don't have, which I need, like a hole in the head, people. How about this? Because all of you say bullshit, 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 bullshit. Nobody's making 33. I get it. However, this is the CEO of, actually at the closing price today, Chris, $100 billion market capitalization at $50. They have 2 billion shares outstanding. Okay. How about you people send me statements? Okay. Meaning not statements, but like last week's earnings. The hours are there. The money you earned is there. Because everybody says, I'm not making $33 an hour. Again, there's a huge distinction between online hour and active hour. I want to collect some data. And at one of my really brilliant drunk moments, I want to ship that data to Dara saying that, look, I have like 800 drivers who email me their weekly earnings. None of these 800, are earning 33 per active hour. But you got to send me active hours. Okay. So, yeah, let's do that. Let's just, have some fun with that.
I'd like, you know what? I'd like to see though earnings trends over. I'd like to get a lot of data though, not just currently, but I'd also like to go back. We start going back in time, and then that way we can plot out and see where our driver earnings actually going. Are they actually going up like they're saying? Are they going down? Are they staying the same? I mean, what's going on there? So I'd be interested to know exactly what that type of data looks like.
Yeah, I have the data. Yeah, I would like to actually do a data, collection like that and send it to him. And he was going to say it's a small sample size. Out of 6.5 million drivers, you only have 500 drivers. I get it. That's what he will say. But you know what? I mean, not everybody's making 33 an active hour, Chris. I know that for a fact. The average is that. So New Yorkers are making 50. Somebody in Nashville, which I know the rates are shit, and now they have the new surge with the clouds now, right? I'm going like, there's no way anybody in Nashville is making 33 bucks an active hour, so it's just kind of averaging it out. LA is averaging people up, and San Francisco, San Diego, California is averaging people up probably. And to me, it's like, look, the company as a company is doing well because they're charging more, they're paying as little as possible, they're taking their cut. By the way, the take rate stayed, actually, it was less than the last quarter. So the take rate went down, but because the trips went up from 2.3 to 2.44, and the costs went down, because cost meaning your incentives are all going down. We all complain about, oh, incentives are shit. Yeah, that's part of the cost. And that's pushing their take rate back up to, so basically they can lower the rates for the passenger and, create more demand for themselves. And look, that's why next week, Chris, you don't know this, but I'm announcing it now. We're going to start teaching how to be a cherry picker. And it's going to be called the anatomy of a cherry picker. Okay. We need to start doing this because look, there's not all bad here. 2.44 billion trips. In 2.44 billion trips, there are some cherries, people. Okay. Stop crying that there are no cherries. There are going to be some cherries in there. And let me tell you something. I have some LA drivers who are absolutely killing it. Okay. So I know your city is not LA, but we need to start teaching how to cherry pick and better.
Yep. All right. Thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself.
Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you get notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.